Hi, my name is Isha Shukla, and I'm so excited to be speaking with you about my first year writing seminar piece titled The Modern Ecology of Brazil. My writing seminar was called Explorations of Brazilian Culture, and for our final assignment, we had to write a 6 to 12 page paper about one aspect of Brazilian culture that we had discussed in class. For me, the most fascinating part of Brazilian culture that we had discussed was its ecology. Although we had primarily talked about the history of Brazil's ecology in relation to its economic development, I really wanted to hone in on the ecological problems that Brazil is facing today and how they relate to climate change on a global scale. The writing process for this piece really made me appreciate the importance of interdisciplinary learning. While I was taking this writing seminar, I was also enrolled in a class called The Foundations of Climate Studies. In my paper, I was able to integrate the knowledge from my climate studies class into my research and writing process. Without this interdisciplinary learning, I wouldn't have thought to include the paragraph about zoonotic diseases or atmospheric cycles, because I wouldn't have learned or been aware of the interaction of those problems in Brazil without my climate studies class. In the College of Arts and Science and at Vanderbilt as a whole, we hear the words interdisciplinary learning a lot, but the writing process for this piece allowed me to understand why that phrase is emphasized so often. When I was researching deforestation and Brazil's ecological problems, I was struggling to narrow down all of these different problems and the complexities associated with them into one paper. So I found that creating a mind map or some kind of visual aid where I could just jot down and contextualize different ideas helped me pinpoint the most important ones. Personally, I also struggled to get into the flow of writing, and I realized that allowing myself to just write imperfectly and freely was much more productive than trying to achieve perfection in the first draft. My biggest takeaway from this experience was that even if you're incredibly passionate about a topic, writing about it can be hard because writing and editing a paper and citing your sources is a very involved process. However, when you give yourself the freedom to be imperfect in your writing, it's much more manageable to put your ideas down on paper and revise them later. Turning in this final paper was so rewarding because I was able to overcome my fear of writing long papers, and I developed my own process for writing papers, which I will certainly be implementing this semester and for the next 3 years.